What's happening, guys? We're back. So I think we're gonna touch on something that I don't think anybody's really touched on too much. I get a lot of questions as to what I could do after a charter. So I get a lot of clients that come up from up north and they want to do something on their own. There's a species down here that's pretty prolific. They're easy to catch. They're fun. They pull. They do everything we need. Even on the charter, I usually key in on them. And honestly, I've never had anybody complain. So we're going to talk about a little bit about shark fishing off the kayak. So we're going to go through the basic gear that I like to use, and I think people shouldn't shy away from these fish. They jump, they pull hard, they're big, they're pretty. Have the entire gamut as far as top prey species and game fish has to come. So I think they're overlooked. I think people don't kind of give them as much credit as they should. But we're gonna dive in real quick as far as gear goes. It's very basic, very simple, and cheap and affordable. So stay tuned. We're gonna dive into what I use as far as gear goes. All right, guys, as far as gear goes, I like two different setups. I like normal, spinning. This is a 5,000. I go up to a 6,000. I pack 20-pound braid with about 300 yards. This is a medium heavy, 7-foot star rod. This is a star Lite to be specific. A BG spinning. It's all you need. So this has enough stopping power, enough oomph from a standing position to pump the brakes on a 7-8-foot lemon shark. Second setup is a little more fancier. This is more for bigger sharks, more aggressive sharks, like your spinner sharks that do peel out a lot of drag and take off. I mean, you'll get 100 yards on them within a blink of an eye. So I stick to Calcutta. This is the 4,000 B or C. This is the Calcutta C.
Now
again, we're using 20-pound braids, and there's probably like 400 yards of line on this. So I like to lever wind, especially for clients. We're back to a heavy rod. So this is a Shimano teremar heavy, 7-foot as well too. So this is more of a stand-up conventional. I like to throw a little bit bigger baits with this for bigger predators, or live bait for spinner sharks. They do like the live baits a lot, or the bull sharks. They do like a live grunt, a live pinfish, or a mohara. So I tend to like this a little bit more for live baiting. But I have plenty of power, plenty of backing. The reel does a lot of work, and the rod does a lot of work with these fish. So I tend to stick to a shorter butt here, so you can do kind of the triangle position where you can kind of sit here, clients can kind of dig in and keep that 45, and then lever wind. Clients don't have to worry about using their thumb and kind of packing in line on one side. So this setup works phenomenal. If you want to stay in the economical side of things, this just works just as fine. I've caught plenty of sharks. If you look at my previous videos, I have a bunch of shorts and some longer format videos where I have clients out there on the flats and we're targeting giant sharks, 6-7-foot lemons. We're sight casting them. We're in 2-3 feet of water. I think you could do this from shore. You could do it from the kayak. So it gives you a lot of versatility. The sharks are all over the bay. They're all over the Gulf side. They're all over the Atlantic side. So catch a cooter or two, use them up for chum. Use a cooter or two, use them up for chum, and you're golden. So we're gonna go to terminal tackle. I like to use 60. So we're gonna dig in here. So I use a little bit of 60 Momoy as my leader. So I tie this in to my braid, use about 6 feet of this stuff. And then it's simple, guys. I don't get too complicated or too crazy as far as leaders go. I go to Basspro. They sell these bad boys, which are circle hook Widegap with, I believe this is 45 pound. There's 18 inches of wire. I have yet to lose a fish, and if I do, it's a real large shark, and I usually break off the wire at the boat, which is probably the best case scenario, especially on a kayak. I try not to handle them too much. It's a big predator. These fish are 100, 200 pounds and change. So wire breaks next to the boat while I'm trying to dehook them.
There you go.
I don't have a problem. They're cheap. They're about $2, $3 at Bass Pro. And honestly, I don't have a problem with that. I'm already trying to fight a 100-pound something shark next to the kayak. And if they break or bite through the wire leader next to the boat, it's a caught fish. I'm not going to bring them up on the boat.
Zero slouch on this fish.
Bygones be bygones. The wire rots, the hook falls out, done deal. Usually, if I can handle them, I try to pop the hook out with a big dehooker that I have, stainless steel dehooker, and let them be. As far as bait goes, plenty of the bridges have jack crevalles, bar jacks, and kudas. That tends to be my staple. These big sharks do like mojaras. They like live grunts, especially the bull sharks and the spinner sharks. So if I know I'm targeting a fast shark, which is more like my bull sharks, my spinner sharks, I tend to throw live bait at them. So during mullet season, I'll use live mullet for them, or during non-mullet season, if these sharks are around, I tend to throw mojaras at them or little grunts at them. But honestly, you can chum them up. You can do it from a bridge, or you could do it from shore, or you could do it from your kayak if you're down here in South Florida and you're looking to tug on something real big. I think shark fishing is underrated. It's overlooked. I don't think people target them as much as they should. I think they're a wonderful game fish. They do everything. They pull, they're big, they test all your gear, and they're fun to target in skinny water and 2-3 feet of water. These fish, these 100+ pound sharks will come into 2-3 feet of skinny, beautiful, clean water, and you can target them. You can sight cast them same way you sight cast a redfish or snook or bonefish or tarpon. You can do the same thing. It's just a nice, good fight. They'll tow you around, and you don't need an exaggerated amount of gear to catch and target these fish. So that's your tip of the week. Hopefully you guys can do the same and enjoy an underrated species that I think should be in the top tier versus all the other species. I mean, everybody wants to target something nice like a tarpon or a bonefish, but I think it's one of the underrated, overlooked species out there, and I think people should target them. They're prolific. There's a lot of fish as far as shark goes, and they're willing to play. So, and from a kayak, they're fun. They'll tow you around, and you get a good concept of what a big fish and a lot of power is behind these fish. So that's your tip of the week. Hope you guys enjoy it. Stay tuned, subscribe, like, helps the channel out. All right, guys, stay tuned for more how-tos and more fishing videos. Take it easy.